Hi guys, and welcome to episode 35 of the Your Progress is Our Passion podcast. Today I'm joined with another one of my clients, Kelly Wall, aka Kelly Losing the Jelly, the Instagram sensation. Kelly's been on a weight loss journey for, well, she's going to tell us the length of it in a second, but she's been on it for quite some time. Some of it with me, some of it before me, and we're going to share some of the kind of highs, lows, things that she's learned through the process from where she was to where she is now. And also, as a forewarning, for anyone both on the video and the audio, this woman has the most amazing voice ever. Right, that being said, over to Kelly. So. Hi. I want your voice to be on point now. So
we will be.
What I'd like to start with is just, in your own words, the story of where you are, where you've come from to where you are now.
I have always been overweight. Primary school, secondary school, I've always been the biggest, the tallest, the fattest. I started secondary school in a size 16, ladies size 16, and just got bigger and bigger and bigger. I've lost weight and gained weight and lost weight and gained weight. But this time, and I'm still classing it as this time, I have successfully maintained this weight-ish 2 years now.
Awesome.
2 years that I've had you in my life, can I just say?
That's pure coincidence.
No, it is. No, just say it.
So, what was the point at which you kind of like, enough was enough?
I had my second child, and I was massive. Had loads of problems during the pregnancy. Some of them to do with my weight, some of them not to do with my weight, but I was not very healthy. At 39 weeks pregnant, I was 19 stone. Had Dan instantly lose a stone. Absolutely fantastic. And then the real work kind of kicks in, and they stapled me back together. Mike has had a C-section. They stapled me back together because stitches wouldn't hold because I was too heavy. And when you get to that point, when a surgeon's saying that over you on a table, you kind of know you have to do something.
Mm.
So I didn't want to be that fat mum. Knew I was going to get married soon. So something clicked. Don't know what it is. I wish I could. I wish I could tell you what that magic thing was. I'd be a millionaire now.
Yeah.
Just clicked. So I started joining Weight Watchers. Have nothing but love for Weight Watchers. I lost, over the 2 years that I was with them, 7 stone. And then I floundered a little bit, as you do when you've done something for such a long period of time. So now I've started my Slimming World journey.
Cool. What was it that obviously, would you say it was Weight Watchers that enabled you to make that big change?
Yes. Sticking to a structured plan that allowed me to have anything that I wanted to really worked for me.
Yeah.
But when I started this, I started it with the healthiest version in mind. So with Weight Watchers, you can have anything you want to have. You can have ready meals, you can have chocolate, biscuits, crap.
You can say crap. You can swear your head off on this podcast if you want. I've never seen someone put their hand over their mouth for crap before.
Well, I just thought I'd give it a go. Yeah, you can if you wish to choose those foods, one, you're going to be hungry very quickly because you have a daily points allowance which is eaten up quickly with the high fat, high sugar foods. Or you can do it the way I did. Everything was cooked from scratch. Didn't have very many pre-packaged or processed foods at all. Most of the food that I eat is relatively healthy. Well, no, it's really healthy. Lots of greens, lots of fruit, lots of salad. Yeah, and you can choose to do the convenience route, or you can choose to do the healthier version of it route.
Yeah, and you went down the healthier version.
Yeah.
I'm quite curious to know, because obviously we talked about this before, like that there's a lot of people out there that are very anti the diet clubs now, and I have my own mixed emotions about it, but I've personally never been through one, and I don't usually cast judgments on anything that I've not been through. And I know that you're very pro the diet group. What I'm interested in, from an outsider, as in me looking in, it's kind of like you said, you've got the convenience route, and then you've got the healthier, the more whole food route.
Yeah.
What, even from your experience, what is the were you pushed down either of those routes?
Nope.
Were you educated along the
When you go to a
routes?
Weight Watchers meeting, there is a shop. You can buy packaged biscuits, you can buy crisps, which are low point, because Weight Watchers points, snacks and treats and things. So you get breakfast bars and you can get packets of crisps and things that help your diet along. And they also sell, as you know, in shops, the frozen meals and the ready meals and all those things.
Yeah.
You aren't really pushed to eat any of it.
Okay.
From a Weight Watchers point of view, you're not pushed. It's there, and the convenience is they'll say to you, have 2 of our bars instead of 1 standard biscuit.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But it's not particularly rammed down your throat. It is your choice. And a lot of people do choose, when they go onto Weight Watchers, to have the ready meals and all those things, because it's easy.
Yeah.
But it's not required.
Okay, and is from an education point of view, do they encourage the whole food route?
Yeah, the program at the moment is lean proteins, fish, fruits and vegetables all have 0 points, so you're encouraged to eat the 0 point foods.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else has a point value, so the rest of your points you can use however you want within the day.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to overeat when you're doing things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you could eat nothing but chicken and fish all day long, not spend a point, and then have 23 points left to eat a bar of chocolate, big bar of chocolate.
Yeah. And I suppose in theory, if you did eat nothing but chicken and broccoli all day, it is actually still possible to overeat on chicken and broccoli.
It is, yes.
So yeah, it's but the thing is, I guess there's the foundation and there's the accountability and there's the structure which does obviously work for you. But
that's the bit I need. I need to physically go and stand in front of somebody and get weighed.
And to you, that's a plus.
Me, a massive plus.
Yeah.
They don't tell anybody how much you weigh. You get weighed, they write it down, they go, woohoo, or... And that's, it's private, it's up to you what you do with that information. It's... Nobody pressurises you or anything like that. And you're sat in a room full of other people going through the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I spent probably, how old am I now? 39 this year. Probably 36 years of my life lying to myself about how much I weighed. I can quite easily kid myself that the scales are on the wrong part of the floor, or, anything like that. The house must have moved.
I'm wearing me heavy jeans.
Yeah, exactly. Or the battery's gone flat, or if I hadn't have had that last night. But I need those... I need that outside of the house, separate from me, scales, to get weighed in the same spot every single week, wearing the same stuff, including the same underwear every single week, because it's routine and it's structure and it does work for me. And when I stand on those scales, I reset and then I have another week. So I do it in 7-day blocks. Sound like a crank, don't I?
No. You know what? The most important thing I think you just said is that it works for you.
It does.
And this is the thing that I'm always keen to promote, is the fact that I have this saying that the only rule that applies to everyone is that no rules apply to everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
And with Phil, for example, from one of the other co-fitties, that for him, I'm totally happy for him to go off and do boot camp with another PT, because what he needs is 3, 4, 5 sessions a week, which doing that one-to-one with me is a ludicrous expense.
Yeah.
And as a result, I still consider him one of the family, one of the co-fitties. And, we see each other from time to time, and he'll come back to sessions, and that's cool. And his success for me, I'm bothered about his success, not whether that's with or without me. And I've always had the same principle with you. It's like, I just want the best for you.
Yeah, I dip in and out with co-fitters all the time. But I know that you're there.
Yeah, but I think the thing I want to highlight is that for a lot of my clients and a lot of people I know, stepping on the scales regularly does not work for them. But it's and there's so much kind of media now that says don't use the scales, don't do this, and it's all black and white. It's like as if to say that the one rule applies for everyone. And I think the main thing I kind of want to highlight to anyone that's listening to this is, if the scales aren't working for you and they're making you feel like crap, cover my mouth. I was going to say shit. I actually don't swear much on the podcast, but if they're making you feel like crap, well then, yeah, maybe a different solution is going to be better for you. However, if it motivates you, if it keeps you focused, if it helps you have that reset, then use it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a Bruce Lee saying that is kind of use the things that work, discard the things that don't, and add a bit of your own.
Yeah.
And I think that, even though it's very hard to sell that message, because it's like common sense doesn't sell because we should already know it.
Yeah.
Moderation doesn't sell because it's not an exact diet plan.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the minute, we're in an industry where everyone wants to tell you about their way. It's the only way. Is the only, you know, and it's I think the idea that any one way is the only way for everyone.
Everybody's got so happy to slate everybody else's chosen route, but you just do you and I'll do me, and that's how it should be. It's when I swapped from Weight Watchers to Slimming World, oh Lord, I thought I was going to get lynched
by the Weight Watchers community.
Yeah.
Did they not lynch you?
I'm lucky I survived. But I had to do what was right for me, and that sometimes just totally changed. I needed the structure of a plan that I could follow with weekly check-ins that fit around my family, that didn't mean I was making extra meals and things like that. And for now, and I just needed a total change from Weight Watchers, so I went to Slimming World. 9 weeks in, stood £6 down. Thank you very much. And I know it's not about the number, but you know, it is for me. I, at this point, still want to lose my weight. Happily want to lose my weight, but feel good.
Yeah.
And isn't that the important bit?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Is there any particular kind of failing or pitfall or anything along the journey that taught you any big lessons?
Yeah. And I've said it to you before lots of times, and you've quoted me on it.
I know what you're going to say then. I nearly quoted you on it yesterday.
You got to, if you eat it, you've got to earn it. I'm from Yorkshire. And then you've got to move on. For everyone who's not from Yorkshire. And then you just got to move on from it. If you eat that pizza, enjoy it, be with it in that moment, and then the next day, start again. From fresh. It doesn't matter. One pizza, one bad meal is not going to make you fat.
Yeah.
You've got to... Life isn't perfect meals. Life isn't perfectly structured timings for things. Things happen. You know, you go to get your chicken out of the fridge and it's gone off. Things happen. You have to have a plan.
Yeah.
So that's my one thing. So many people will have one bad thing and write the day off, which I used to do. And then writing the day off would mean then, oh, I can lose weight this week, so I'll write the week off and start again on Wednesday. Yeah. Which so many people do. But generally, if you get back on it, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
There's two things. I learned a lot from when you told me when you taught me eating. And I'm hoping that washing machine isn't too loud in the background. Sorry. It's not.
Pause it.
Can you?
Yeah.
No. Could have done that all along.
I never thought about it. It's just like, oh no, can't look. It's doing a thing. Oh no, can't.
It's just got to calm down a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah, two major things. One with eat it and own it. It's like a principle that I call double suffering. So you've done the thing that you didn't want to do, so you're suffering once, and then you feel like crap. That's going to be my new thing now. I'm going to cover my mouth every time I say crap. But then you feel like crap afterwards, and that guilt actually and that crap actually puts you into more stress.
It does, and then you feel
more
bad,
stress
so
makes you want to eat more.
Yeah, it does.
And as a result, it becomes a bit of a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it does.
Whereas if you just go, and it does tie in really well with the whole idea of writing off a day, a week. Some people write off a month. Some people write off a year. There are literally people that write off a lifetime because of things that have come before, and they think, oh, because I've already done that now, because I didn't do this well in high school, I can't do this now, because I've always been fat and I'm in my 40s, then I can't be thin now. And it's that, you know, I like to say to people, when's your reset time? And like, I'll be like, so if someone's kind of like binged in a day, I'll be like, well, when's your reset time? And they're like, well, the next day. And I'm like, okay, what about if we said it's the next meal?
Yeah.
So like, because the thing is, if someone has, if your lapse, because let's face it, it's very much linked to stress a lot of times.
Yeah,
So
if I'm happy, I eat. If I'm sad, I eat. If I'm grumpy, I eat. If I've had a bad day, I eat.
Yeah. So let's say you have a particularly bad morning. You know, you're doing the school run, which can be quite a stressful experience.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I've got to go somewhere, but I'm walking past this shop, and okay, I'm gonna have this binge now.
Yeah.
And you eat all them things, and it's like, oh well, that's the whole day gone now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we're so easy to kind of set that bar for what constitutes as a loss, and then we set what constitutes as a win, like up in the stars. You have to go 10 days of eating well before it's a win. No, let's start with one meal.
Yeah.
Because you get used to the idea of what it feels like to win and what it feels like to lose.
Yeah.
So I say to like, you think you've probably heard me say the expression, what can I do right now to help move forward? It's not what can I do tomorrow. It's like, what can I do now? Okay, I've just eaten all that. What can I do right now? And the answer is, okay, most of the time it's like, well, I can just be kind to myself. I can eat it and own it. That can be it. And I can not beat myself up, because right now the food's already in my system. Then the guilt on top of that's going to make me feel worse.
Yeah.
And then later on, I'm just going to say, oh, this day's a write-off. I'll start again tomorrow. Or as you said, this week's a write-off. I'll start again after next weigh-in. Or I'll skip weigh-in this week.
Yeah, I've done that.
Which I imagine is a hugely common one.
Yeah.
And it's this idea of how often are we allowed to hit that reset switch?
Yeah.
And I like
as many times as you want.
Exactly. You can start again. Right. You don't need to wait for a new day, a new year. You can start again right now.
Yeah.
Like I'll eat it and own it. This morning I was feeling super tired, so when I stopped and got me coffee in Morrison's garage, I also got an Eating Mess square. It was delicious. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I've had 2 breakfasts today. I'll live. It was my son's 13th birthday on Monday. We're actually going out for it tonight, so I'll probably not eat particularly great then either. But it's this idea of looking at progress. When you look at it zoomed in, it's never a straight line.
Yeah.
But you zoom out far enough, and if it's going in the right direction, it's going in the right direction. And
coming up to my wedding, when I was at my very, very, very lightest, I was not really eating a great deal, and I was exercising a lot.
Yeah.
And my focus was that dress. And to be fair, I did exactly what I set out to do. I lost my back fat.
Yeah.
I was seriously proud of myself for that.
I was seriously proud of you.
It's but that level of exercise, sort of, I was doing 5-6 days in the gym, minimum sort of an hour, plus sort of 20,000 steps a day, which I know a lot of people say, oh, Fitbits and all that stuff, but that's how much actual moving I was doing every single day to achieve that. And it was just hard. And then as soon as the wedding came, you lose your momentum and it just sort of relaxes a little bit. So actually really proud he only put a stone back on. So,
it's down to where the motivation comes from.
There was no way in the run up to the wedding would I had a day off. I might have had the occasional meal off. But it's Dan's birthday this next week coming, and I fully intend to enjoy birthday cake, but because I'm making that decision to enjoy the cake, that'll mean I'll have 1 slice.
Yeah.
If I denied myself that cake, I'd wait till later on till I was really, really, really hacked off and eat half of the cake, because that's the kind of person I am. I deny myself something, I'll eat twice as much of it.
Yeah.
So I think that dieting and losing weight, you need to actually know yourself, and you need to know how you work. Because if you don't, how other people tell you to do things and what works for them might not necessarily work for you, or for me, or, so.
Well, it's like what you said about the slice of cake then. There's I want to say things like there's 2 types of people. It's like there are 2 types of people. People that believe there are 2 types of people. But there's this delineation that I work with that I try and find out very early on if someone's an abstainer or a moderator. So I'm an abstainer. If I want to do well in a diet, if I decided I've got 3 weeks until Tough Mudder, I wouldn't mind being half a stone lighter between now and then. My best shot would be to abstain between now and then.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Not food in general, but I'll be like, okay, what are the things that I know are my triple points? Is he coming back? My triple points. I love beer. Love the stuff. And I quite like. I've got a bit of a thing for protein bars. Particularly tasty ones.
I've got some in the fridge.
No, don't enable me.
And
even I said before, you can overeat on chicken and broccoli. You can easily overeat on protein bars. So for me, if I just said, right, no beer, no, like at the beginning of this year, from January 1st to when I went away to Australia for my birthday, I was dry and caffeine free, because two of my big things there was, and this wasn't for a weight loss point of view, this was from an anxiety point of view. My anxiety was terrible at the end of the year. So I'm like, no caffeine, no alcohol. And it worked. I've had half a day of anxiety this year. That's it, half a day.
I'll just drink my coffee now.
I'm drinking coffee, it's fine. But since I've been back, it's like all the caffeine and alcohol whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
Now, for me, if I wanted to lose weight again, like say I decided I did a weightlifting competition and needs to be 105 kilos, I would be better off in that period abstaining.
Yeah.
Some people, that wouldn't work for at all.
Yeah.
For me, once I make the decision, I'm not drinking now, it's done. That tab's closed in my brain. Someone offers me a drink, not drinking at the minute, easy. No willpower required, automatic. Now, for other people, the idea of as soon as I can't have it,
that's me.
Yeah, which you're more of a moderator,
is
can't have it means forbidden fruit. Forbidden fruit means want it more.
Like and feel good if I've made better decisions. So for me, not having anything, which I did for a long time, just didn't have it. But that would lead to me getting weighed and then spending all that day eating, because I was rewarding myself for losing weight by eating food. So now I have a little bit of every day I'll have a little bit of something. Yeah, that could be a custard cream or, I don't know, a Malteser bunny kind of thing. Something little, small, like a mini one. Something little and small and fit-inable, if that makes sense. Is that even a word?
It is now. Words are words depending on how you use them. Floordrobe is a word, so...
Well, yeah. But like, you see Easter eggs, everywhere you look, there's Easter eggs. Having 2 children and a big family, loads of Easter eggs in the house. So a couple of times between Easter and now, especially dying of tonsillitis, I've eaten Easter eggs. And then I thought, beat myself up about it, which leads to eating more Easter eggs, because obviously that's a logical thing to do. Fix it by doing more of the thing that makes you feel bad in the first place.
That makes sense.
Exactly. So then you've got to, if you think, right, well, I've done it, beating myself up about it's not going to hurt, and not going to help, then you move on. It's simple. But like, going back to the slimming club thing, if you're sat in a room next to Marjorie, who, she might be the same age as you, she might be older, she might be younger, who is going through that exact journey and understands where you are and what you're doing and gets it, just makes you feel better. Because you'll meet people in life who, like, I've got a friend who struggles to lose weight. She's had a total thyroidectomy, so it's always going to be a really hard, showing you, always going to be a really hard battle for her, and she loses steadily and regularly if she's really sticking to it. So for me, I might lose more per week, but I also gain far more than she does, because she's, I don't know, we're just 2 different types of people. But she can't compare her journey to mine because we've got different sets of circumstances. But within a Slimming World group, you'll find one person who gains easily like I do, loses easily like I do. So then you've got something in common, and you understand where that person's coming from, she understands where I'm coming from, and there's no competition, there's no jealousy, because quite often people will be like, this week I lost 4.5 pounds, and my mum said, oh God, how do you it's a big chunk of weight, but last week I gained 3 pounds. So it's not...
So your net changes.
Yeah, exactly. So, but people compare the big losses and don't listen to the little losses. Like I publish a lot of my things on Instagram, and people send me messages, oh, I wish I had big losses like that. But you can't compare yourself to somebody else, because it's your journey, it's not anybody else's. And how you do it is yours, it's not anybody else's. And whatever works for you, works for you.
Yeah, and that's the important thing. It's like whatever works for you, works for you. And if it doesn't work for you, then maybe look somewhere else.
I tried with macros, didn't I? I tried to count macros for about a day, and it just confused the living daylights out of me, and it made me put far too much. This can make me sound ridiculous. So I apologise to Dave's podcast viewers for this, but it made me feel like I didn't know what I was doing, and I felt out of control with it, and I didn't like that feeling.
Yeah.
So it was just too much thought. It made me think too much about all the food I was eating, and which is amazingly successful for so many people, just not for me.
Yeah, and again, it's like I remember doing a video on forming habits probably about 18 months ago, and I thought, for me, tracking macros is a piece of cake, but it wasn't at first, and that's something I've got to remember. It's like that you get good at the things you do often.
Yeah.
So, and I was in a position where I was like, people become very dogmatic or fanatical about the things that work for them, and they forget how hard it was to maybe adopt those things in the first place, how much that, whether it did or did not fit in with their life.
I was trying to get my carbs and my fat and my sugar all to balance, and I was thinking, just what?
Yeah, whereas when I do that now, I've not done it for ages because I got bored of putting things into my fitness pal, but when I do it, I eat a hell of a lot better, and it works for me. And I know that works for me. But the thing is, I had to. So if I'm working with a client who's never cooked for themselves before, and it's like, oh, here you go, here's your meal plan full of loads of stuff that you've got to cook for yourself. It's like, I'm not going to start that person off on that. I've got a client at the minute who works in the NHS on shift work. It's I've got certain plans for the non-shift days and certain plans for the shift days, because when she's working a late night shift and she's coming back at what time in the morning, she's like, I don't know whether I feel like breakfast, I don't know whether I feel like dinner, I just don't know what I feel like. And I'm like, here's the stuff that you can have throughout the day, and fit in with that, basically. On those days, basically, as long as you're not going more than 10% either side of it, really, you're okay. And that's where, it works really well for her.
Good.
And it's like, this the whole concept that there is such a thing as let's go Lord of the Rings, the one ring to rule them all. It's just ludicrous. But I understand from a business point of view why people try and put that across, because it's like we have to say that if we're trying to sell something, you have to sell something that is, this is going to work for you regardless of who you are. It does often, it misses the point of the fact that we're all individuals. We all respond to different things.
I find that I can go away with friends, eat exactly the same as them, and I mean exactly the same, minus a chip or two. Drink pretty much exactly the same as them. Come home, I might have put half a stone on, they'll have put a pound on. And that's because we're different bodies, we're different people. But that doesn't mean that I should not enjoy my life and go places and do things. You just got to know what works for you. And I know that for the days after I've been away and done these things, the scale's out of my friends, so I don't go anywhere near them.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, I can empathise with that entirely, because I go away with the loner, and sometimes she even eats more than I do.
It just looks phenomenal.
And then I know, and I come back from that holiday 5, 10, 15 kilos heavier sometimes, and because my body's predisposed to go back to big Dave. It wants that. Now, the science in all of this says I've got a metabolism that's twice as strong as hers. I'm 6'2", she's 5'7". I'm 115 kilos. She's not going to disclose her weight on a podcast. I don't even know what it is right now. But she's about 50 odd kilos lighter than me. And all of the science suggests that that food should do worse to me than it does to her. Sorry, worse to her than it does to me. And yet it doesn't.
No.
And I could sit around.
Just hack me off there. I think, why do I have to struggle to get it off? But it's just my journey.
Yeah, and I think that mentality, I see that as I like to see it as a bit of a badge of honour. It means we have to work a bit harder.
But then I get rewarded by next time I stand on the scales, I have a big loss. Whereas the other people that might only help lose a pound, and I feel like, as ridiculous as it is, and I know it is, but I like losing big chunks. And I know it's not great.
Well, that's leading me on to the next thing I want to ask is, outside of the numbers on the scales, what are the other benefits of the type of training and the type of eating that you do?
Well, my blood pressure's perfect. When I was pregnant with Daniel, I had Lily and Daniel, I had preeclampsia twice.
Twice on both of them, or my
blood pressure was so high after I was put on blood pressure, well, almost put on blood pressure medication. Now, it's perfect. It's exactly what it should be for my height, weight, blah, 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 blah. I've got a replaced knee. The lighter I am, the better my knee is going to be. It's that simple. I have no aches or pains ever. I think I've had one class with you where I've gone, Dave, I can't do this, my knee hurts.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah, once.
In like 2 years. But I'm fit, I'm strong, I'm active. I can do pretty much anything I put my mind to. But I couldn't have done 2 years ago. I wouldn't have even walked in the gym before. I didn't even join the gym until I lost about 3 stone. No way would I have gone into that environment. No way. And I'm a very confident person. No way.
This is actually
definitely wouldn't have seeked, because I found you on Instagram, didn't I, or Facebook, one of them.
I think it was Facebook at that point.
And I found you and harassed you, and but there's no way I would have done that. No way at all. I wouldn't have put myself in a one-on-one position with somebody, feeling as insecure as you do when you're that much bigger.
Yeah.
No way.
And you know what? I think that's a super important point to touch on as well, actually, because again, I've been super guilty of this, is the fact that I forgot what it felt like to be like that. And you know what, part of my story that's not even out there on the internet until this very day is that I didn't go in the gym straight away. I bought, I said to you literally before, as we were coming in here, I said, we've just cleared out a load of gym stuff at home. I use that gym stuff at home. I had a cross trainer and a multi-gym in a spare bedroom. And I'd basically jump on that cross trainer and watch 2 hours worth of the OC.
Yeah.
Good show. And you're like, questionable. And I'd watched like 2 hours worth of the OC on that cross trainer, and that was my move more, and I'd do a little bit of weights and stuff. And it was years before I stepped into a gym.
Yeah.
And one of the other messages that is so readily placed out there by the fitness industry is when people say, I just want to lose a bit of weight before I start with a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And a fit person or a person who's always been fit doesn't understand that.
No, they
don't get their head around the fact of what it actually felt. And you know what, actually, even an ex-fatty like myself and like some of the other PTs that I know that started on that journey, they've almost forgotten that they felt like that at one point.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking. I was so nervous when I had my first session with you. I was petrified. I was petrified you were just going to laugh at my levels of fitness. And but it takes. You just have to remember how it feels, because it's awful.
Yeah, it's one of the big reasons I moved gyms to where I am now. And again, I've not talked about this publicly either, because I've still got massive love for the warehouse.
Yeah,
it's
a very, very beautiful body gym.
Yeah, it's a very competitive gym, and a lot of my clientele are kind of. I think I remembered basically what it was like to feel like that, and I thought that wouldn't be the place I went into. I'd want to be somewhere a little bit more private.
For me, one of the reasons, and take this in the best possible way, is I picked you is because you've been big.
Yeah.
So you knew what it felt like.
Yeah.
And you weren't like body beautiful, like.
You saying I'm not good?
No, like some of them in there, and you just think, how are you ever going to understand me? But you, like, even down to my jiggly loose bits, you get that.
Yeah.
So,
I've got my own jiggly loose bits still, and I always will have. Even on the photo of me when I'm 25 kilos lighter, I've got loose skin and saggy bits and stuff at the bottom, and I call them.
The gym picture with you and the learner.
And the one where I'm doing a lateral raise with a pair of dumbbells, and like I've got all the loose skin and the stuff, and that's me. 25 kilos lighter than I am now is. So 90 kilos, it's really light. But
do you like your skin better now you're bigger?
I don't actually. I don't give a crap about what my body looks like, and this is an awkward point in the fitness industry, because I wrote a poem called "My Body Is Not My Business Card" like a while back.
Oh yeah.
And within the fitness industry now, it's a very big point of contention that if you're not in shape, who the hell are you to get someone else in shape? And the thing is, it's just not important to me, if I'm perfectly honest. Like, here we go. You said you were going to cry. I've got my before and after photo that is my favourite. There's a photo of me at 135 kilos, which is my heaviest. There's a photo of me at 89, and then there's a photo of me at about 108, which is a little bit lighter than I am now. And I call it biggest, thinnest, happiest.
Yeah.
And everyone who looks at that photo, including me, I look at that photo and I'm like, I'm just a happier person there. And the reason I was asking you about why outside of the numbers on the scales, because for me, I got to that number on the scales, and what it meant for me to be 89, 90 kilos was I can go and do Muay Thai and I can fight in the ring, which was important to me at the time. But other than that, I got there and I was like, I'm not happy. Don't like the way I look, don't like the way I feel, felt shit, like most of the time. And then I think I'm a little bit bigger than what I would like to be, if I'm fully honest. But
the thing for you, Dave, is you're a big, tall, broad man, and I don't mean big fat. You just broad and like. So if you lost 25 kilos from now, I'd be like, Dave, eat some cake.
I'd be like I have been eating cake because I've been tracking my macros. It fits into my macros, that's it. But yeah, like, you know, in terms of my skin, I don't know. Like I don't really think about it. Like
no, I do really know my battles.
Like my stretch marks are my stretch marks.
I don't even care about my stretch marks. It's just the empty skin that jiggles, and I find myself saying to people, "Oh, I'm Kelly, I've lost 7 stone, and this isn't a muffin top. This is skin," and they go because they've not even looked or thought about it. See, in like, especially in the gym environment when you're wearing tight lycra, but everybody's so focused on how they look. 90% of the time, they're not even looking at you.
Yeah, that's kind of an important point as well. Like, for anyone who is intimidated about going into the gym, like,
just not.
Quite frankly, you know, you're self-conscious about yourself. Those fit people that we admire and we look at, they're all just as self-conscious, if not more, actually.
Yeah.
Because the
lighter I've got, the more
critical.
Far more.
Yeah, I think that was the same, and that's why I suppose 105, between 105, which is my weightlifting competition weight, and 115. So I fluctuate 10 kilos depending on whether I'm competing or not.
Whether you've been on holiday with a learner.
Well, yeah, that can fluctuate more than 10 kilos. And I'm always on holiday with a learner. According to my clients, I'm always on holiday. But yeah, so I do fluctuate by those 10 kilos. And you know, am I a little bit happier at 105? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It's just not my focus. It's not what I'm asked about. I'm the happiest I've ever been. Ever. Good. Last year I wasn't, as we all know, but this year...
No, you did look like you had a grey cloud over your head a lot of the time.
I know. Too much time being here and not enough time being Tigger. But
Well...
But yeah, so... That, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
If you'd said to Fat Me, or really Fat Me, should I say, that when you were wearing size 12 clothes from everywhere, that I would be far more critical. I'd laughed at you, because all I wanted to be was a UK size 12, and that was my dream. And then I got there, and I was like, oh, well, I don't like this bit, and what about this bit, and you can see this bit, and oh no, I don't like that bit, and then you start picking away. Instead of before, when I was bigger, I just made the best of a bad job. I was like, here I am.
Yeah.
Now, it's, oh no, I feel like I don't look like I work as hard as I do.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Yeah, that's how I do, that's how I feel. Less so than I used to do, because now I'm sort of getting used to the body that I'm in now. But yeah, I do. If you'd said that to me before, I'd have laughed at you. I'd have thought I'd done it, I'd cracked it.
Yeah.
But I think for me personally, I would probably always be on some form of diet, because inner fatty Kelly is very much still in there, and very much, if you relax a little bit, she does kind of come out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing for me. I'm 25 kilos above my lightest weight, but I'm only 20 kilos below my heaviest weight. So I'm smack bang, like, you know, I'm actually closer to my heaviest weight than my lightest weight, if that makes sense. Which is an odd thing to think about. But I've got these big, massive muscles now.
Well, I was just going to say, you look like a completely different world from how you were. That picture of you in the suit, you must have been going to a wedding or something. Yeah. You've got like a tie on. Oh,
it was when we were when me and London were on one of our Eat A Lot holidays recently.
No, pre weight loss.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah, I was at a wedding.
Yeah, you look like, regardless of the fact you're nearer to that, a million worlds away
totally,
from that.
Totally. Yeah. But, I mean, it doesn't help that I had like lovely blonde highlights and a little goatee, not a even goatee thing, a little
boy band.
thing. Yeah,
you just wanted to be on a boy band.
Well, I was 21 in that photo, I think. 22 maybe. A little bit older and a little bit wiser.
You are.
In terms of your own feelings towards yourself now, what's been the most positive thing that you've done to help with that, like to kind of obviously learn to love yourself again?
Well, this is going to sound really lame. Somebody I know gave me a few set of exercises to do towards...
That actually wasn't a leading question towards this at all, I promise.
No, but I literally remember having a day when I was really, really down about how I feel and how I look and all these things. And I was lighter probably than I am now. No, I wasn't heavier. And I saw you in the gym and I just cried, didn't I? And you came here and you said, and you gave me some mindset exercises. You spent about an hour with me off your own back, you know. And the things you told me to do with that picture where I feel amazing, I still do. It just kind of reaffirmed to myself that yes, I felt amazing and I'm still that person and I still feel amazing, and I remember how she felt because she's me. But yeah, so I work on it a lot because you have to.
Yeah.
The lack of confidence, my mum will tell you that although I am really confident, in some areas I'm really not confident at all. And I'm very critical of myself, but I'm learning to accept me as I am now and how I was then and how I will be in the future, because you've got to.
I want to not transform, but I want to take your eat it and own it expression and just put it to you in a different way. I'm going to cry saying this. Preempt yourself, be her and own her.
Yeah, exactly. I like that, that's good. I should get that tattooed on my arse.
I think that's an appropriate place to stop, won't you? Is there anything else you think that I've not asked that you'd like to add? No?
We're good.
We're good.
I just want everybody to be nicer to each other. I want everybody to accept that what works for one might not work for another, and that just do you.
Yeah, I think
the diet industry is always going to be cutthroat, I think, and everybody's always going to be trying to prove that they're better. But surely, however I lost this weight, it doesn't matter. The fact that I did and still have is the important bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I suppose I go against the trend because a lot of diet club people lose it and then put it all back on again. So I'm 2 years in. So now I'm nearly a success.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I'd say so.
2 years is quite a long time to be maintaining ish.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's an interesting thing that, because people think that if let's say for example you end up being the part of the diet industry for the rest of your life, some people might actually say, oh well, that was a dependency thing or whatever.
No, well,
but the thing is, everyone actually has things that they depend on, whether that is routine. And I've got this real, basically, you know me, I'm a big softie, I'm a terrible businessman, and the fact that I like if you were to say, I just fancied a chat one day, and we'd count it as a mindset session, I'd be like, I'm not. If you're one of my friends, I'm not counting that. It was just a chat. And I went to one of my mindset clients last week, and the whole session was just a chat. And I was like, I just felt really bad, like charging for that. And I left, and I was chatting to a owner later on. And I was just like, and she's like, but what if that was just what that person needed? And instead of chatting to you, they went and spend that money on things that they don't need and things that they don't want, and the thing like that. And it's like, what if the account? Because for me, as I said to you, the very first time I trained you, because we trained every 4 to 6, 8 weeks or whatever it was at first. I was like,
wedding dress.
My philosophy then was, if I can I'll give you as much as I can in this hour, so that between now and the next time I see you, you don't need me.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately for you, you can shot yourself in your foot, because I had a 4 little week program. And then a 4 little week program, and then a 4 little week program, and now I can go into the gym and do any one of those 4 little week programs because they're all programmed in my brain.
Yeah.
So
But I just think I served you well.
You did.
But from a business point of view, shocking, terrible.
Yeah.
From the point of view of like, if you'd have needed to see, like I've got a client that I see at her house twice a week, and she'll quite readily say to me that if I didn't come, she wouldn't do any training whatsoever. Now, that's okay. Like that's like I don't want that. I don't want her to feel like that. Ideally, I want her to feel like she can do these things. But some people do need these structures. I need external accountability in order for me to maintain.
I need to go and get stood in front of those girls. I think when you're a very fat person, you get really good at lying to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be truthful with yourself, because if you were truthful with yourself, you wouldn't have got into the situation where I was 19 stone, 21 stone at my very heaviest.
Yeah.
You don't. If you're telling yourself the truth, you're not going to let yourself get there. So I'm so good at lying to myself about my weight and how, oh no, you can't see that, and that half a stone doesn't show, and all these silly little things that. So that's why I need that external person to give me that.
Has there been, one last question, has there been anyone, and other than me, you're not allowed to say me on this one because you've already said too many nice things about me today, and like my ego's going enough if you go when I try and leave.
I didn't even mean to say nice things about you, they just fell out.
Well, is there anyone else who's been instrumental in your journey, in your progress?
Yeah, my husband and my kids. Dan is a squat weight and a barbell, and I quite often will just chuck him on my shoulders and run around the garden. He thinks it's fantastic. I'm running with 4 stone. You know? My husband supports me, and as cheesy as it sounds, if I'm eating cake, he eats cake. If I'm eating kale, he eats kale. There is no, he's just whatever I do.
Yeah.
So without him, I don't.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's you just couldn't put a price tag on that, and for people who don't have that support, it must be so hard. Because for me, could you sit next to? Oh no, maybe you're not the right person
she
to
eats
ask.
out all the time, it's fine.
Exactly.
But no, when she's on a bodybuilding plan, when she's doing a piece of cake for me to eat, to eat better, a lot better than I do now. Because for a start, all 3 of my main meals in a day are going to be better because I'm having them the same as what she's having.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I obviously need more calories than that, so I eat around that, and sometimes those choices aren't quite as wholesome. But yeah, like when Alona's not on a plan, sorry for shaming you, Alona, but she doesn't listen to these anyway, so she'll never know.
She might listen to this one because she loves me.
Well, there is that. Big supporter of my work. Passively.
I'm a busy lady.
Yeah, if anyone from work hears it, they'll be like, "Oh, did you hear what they said about you on the podcast?" And then I'll be in trouble. But yeah, there's one of my friends calls it eating the loner. Like that's the eating version of a loner. So she's on when she's on prep, she's like on it like a carb on it basically. And when she's off prep, she makes up for it. And as anyone that follows her Instagram knows.
She makes me so jealous with the foods. And how she looks, I'm like, oh, give me some of that.
I know, she does. She is in the gym like 3 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly. But she's also ridiculously supportive of me. I might not see her very much now, but whenever, there's always a supportive ear. But everybody, the only people who haven't been supportive of my weight loss journey have been some of my friends. As horrible as that sounds, I don't mean my close friends, but they'll say things like, oh, as soon as the wedding's over, you'll put all your weight back on, and oh, you're getting a bit skinny now, and stuff like that.
Do you know what all that is?
Jealousy.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so like you're especially if a friend is overweight themselves, the good things we do have a tendency to highlight the other people's insecurities, and it's not that like it's almost as if we're doing that to show that, and it's an interesting case because I think it's the difference between I think if you can be very uninspired by someone who's particularly inspirational depending on how they put things across, and if someone sends around like X fatties can be a little bit the same. I don't even know if I should have used that term, but because I'm one myself, I'm using it. We can be about as kind of judgmental as ex smokers sometimes, and suddenly it's like, well, and I definitely was when I first lost weight. It was like, and I used the word should. Like, well, I did it, so you should too, which shines a light on people that don't.
I say, well, I do it like this.
Yeah.
And I do find myself saying that, should you be eating? But then now, like, I act quite as I post my food on Instagram, but I don't really show it to other people because I think I'm not really bothered. Don't care what you think.
I changed the word should to could, and it changed everything. It's like, okay, my before and after, your before and after. They're an example of what you could do, not what you should do. No one's telling you have to, but if you want to, if you're a lady that's 7 stone overweight, if you're a gentleman that's 9 stone overweight, you could do it.
Yeah.
Because someone else has.
I find myself wanting to, when you see people who are really struggling to walk because they're big and the ladies and they're pushing a pram and they look miserable. I find myself wanting to go, just come with me. I can show you how to fix this. And I know that I don't have the answers for everybody, but I just know what worked for me.
Yeah.
And I would never, ever, ever say it to them.
No.
But I feel like I just want somebody. I wish somebody said to me, look, what are you doing? It's time you sorted yourself out. Nobody ever did. Ever.
Yeah. No one ever said it to me either.
But they've all got an opinion when you get smaller. But when you're bigger, nobody says anything. It's very funny.
Although on the very slight flip side of that, when my nan used to always say you're looking too skinny, now when I look back at those pictures, I was. But the majority of the time, thanks Nan, the majority of the time it is just a case of what you're highlighting the fact that I've got some weight to lose and it's making me feel insecure.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop you from doing that. I'm going to go to you, you're looking too skinny, which is going to negatively reinforce the idea of you actually going and having the cake. It's like, just go on, have the cake and stuff.
I shouldn't really say this, but it's very doubtful she'll ever hear this. My
change the names for the sake of
ex-Weight Watchers consultant used to tell everybody about my success story, like all the new members and the people in the group, and she'd share my Instagram details and they'd all follow me and send me messages saying, you go to the same class as us and we think you're amazing and inspirational, and all that did was pile pressure on. It was like, because I wasn't at that point losing, I was sort of just bubbling along and not losing the bit that I wanted to lose. So all these new people were following me and asking me questions and telling me I was really motivating and really inspirational, and I was thinking, leave me alone, I want to eat a cake. So it's really hard. You can go from being somebody's motivation, somebody's inspiration, to that being your demotivation and your uninspiration, because I just couldn't deal with the pressure.
I think it depends on where you are in your journey. Like if you're on the,
I wasn't happy because I was putting all this work in, and then don't get me wrong, I had epic arms. I was like, do you know that muscle there and then that muscle there, and I was like that.
Yeah.
I had good arms. I miss them. But
some curls for the girls then, isn't it? Get them bicep curls on the go.
And I'm on it, don't worry.
Come on with some Atlas stones with me. They won't give you biceps, well they will.
To go out, I think they might do me bum some good. Because it's got to be like...
Yeah, they basically make you feel like a badass.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing for.
Cool. So we'll have to sort of play date out. Right, I'm going to end it there.
Okay.
Because I need to go to yoga. I
Get
know.
you.
And well, you know what? It's because going back to accountability structures, right? I'm shocking at self-care, like really, really bad at it. So what I'm trying to do is get a weekly appointment in with either like Rick for a massage. Shout out to Peak Sports Therapy. This is our sponsors. They're not our sponsors. I just love Rick. He's amazing. So I'm trying to either get a weekly massage in or a weekly yoga session. And the thing is, if I've got an appointment with somebody else, I'll let myself down like that.
Yeah.
I won't let other people down.
Yoga's really good. Mind, body.
I'm having a one-to-one in like half an hour.
That's cool.
And the idea is, if I like it and me and the instructor get on well, I will make it a weekly thing, and then I know that I'm at least getting 1 hour of self-care that I won't cancel on.
Do you know what I'm going to do when you go?
What?
You're going to do some headstands.
Awesome.
Because not only did you teach me so many awesome things within the gym and the machines and all that stuff, you taught me to stand on my head. And that's like... if I could write that on my CV, I would.
Have you seen the fact that Phil loves it now?
Yeah, I know, I'm so proud.
He's always upside down in co-fitted photos.
It's brilliant. Like, when you can do it, like when I go to soft play now, I stand on my head. And all the other mums are like,
I think when I learned to do it, I learned to do it only about 4 weeks before I showed you, and I was like, trust me, this is going to make you feel cool.
It does, it's amazing. It's the best thing. So many people have said, oh, you have to learn song, and they go, what? But it's true. But yeah, I've not done it for weights, I'm going to.
Me and Phil did it mid-running on Tuesday. So we were doing 200-metre runs and then doing an exercise, and one of the exercises was a 30-second inversion. So Phil was doing headstands and I was doing upside down the rings.
Phyllis.
And Phyllis.
I don't call anybody the proper names, do I?
What do you call me? Kofi.
Captain Kofi.
Captain Kofi. Right. I am going to leave. I've said it about 16 times. I'm going to leave it there. So 57 minutes.
Sorry.
So it's fine. So thanks to Kelly for that. I'm not going to plug.
I don't want any negative comments.
Well, I'll deal with the negative comments if they come in. I'm going to just summarise on that, because I know there's a lot of feelings out there in terms of the negativity towards certain parts of the diet industry, and I know personally I've got as I say mixed emotions about the whole thing. But what I want to focus on is like that each person has something that works for them, and whatever works for the person is the plan that you can stick to. The plan that motivates you the most is the right one for you, regardless of whether that is seen in a good or a bad light by your peers, the internet, the keyboard warriors, or whatever it may be. It's important for you because it's your fitness journey. It's like, it's not, even the message of this podcast is not progress is our passion, it's your progress is our passion, and your progress is a different blend, it's a different recipe than everybody else's out there. So find the bits that work for you, get rid of the bits that don't, and make that judgment call and just be, eat it and own it, do it and own it, be that person and own that person, and yeah, that's it, I'm done. Your progress is our passion.